Today's topic isn't a list or film analysis, but is my tiny advice to Bollywood. I understand that I am no one to advise Bollywood, but at least I am someone in this democracy to share my opinions. So let's begin our journey to know what Bollywood needs to understand. I have already mentioned in one of my videos, Bollywood is the largest producer of films in the globe. It is mainly due to the vast audience in India, always willing to see any kind of content. Saying implicitly, Indian public doesn't know what kind of content to feed on. In other words, the naive audience of India doesn't catch the simple difference between a good and a bad content. This is why a movie with completely illogical concept earns $1 million, while a movie that is a pure art remains out of sight. Before beginning, I would like to clearly state that I am not criticizing the brilliant side of Indian cinema with genius artists and their artistic works, but the dark side, which is dishonored by nepotism and lack of creativity. So let's begin with a point from which the movie begins itself, that is, trailers and promos. Try to watch the trailers of the last 5 Bollywood films premiered. The similarity you will notice is that most of the story and plot are exposed in the trailers. A Bollywood has a culture to begin a trailer with an inspiring dialogue and finishing it with a funny clip in the end. To exemplify, let's recall the trailer of Race 3. The ultimate task of a trailer is to generate a cliffhanger among the audience. Now, cliffhanger is a curious feeling we get after the climax of one episode of series which sticks our thoughts to what is going to happen next and consequently brings us back for the next episode. Did you get the same feeling after watching the trailer of Race 3? Did you find any special reason to go for its premiere? For me, it is a big no. Yet, why people go for this kind of film and how it becomes a blockbuster is beyond logic. Second, use of songs. Indian movie songs are broadcasted on music channels before the release of the respective movie. Like trailers, these songs also unnaturally unveil the core parts of the film. Usually it is an item song made in either bar or club with intense colorful lightning and strangers dancing in unpracticed coordination. Song between a running movie is, I believe, an idea originated in India. In older times, songs were supposed to have the purpose of defining and developing the story. Also, the lyrics had meaning and were originally and expertly composed by legendary artists. The video of the song was well crafted cinematically and simply stuck to the story. After years, somewhere in the 90s, the idea was redefined. During this period, the song produced served no special purpose to the script but became a completely different entity, which you can enjoy without actually considering the respective film. Even though it didn't serve the storyline, still it was well crafted visually. For example, the song Chhaiya Chhaiya from Dil Se, and also the song Chale Jaise Hawaii from Main Hoon Na. Whoever did the cinematography of this song did a better job than the entire movie. There isn't a single cut in the first 160 seconds. This kept the attention of the public towards the screen. Hence, 90s songs at least had creativity. Now, the recent songs have completely lost the concept. Neither it has a purpose nor it is well crafted. This song, Slow Motion from Bharat, has more than 8 cuts merely in the beginning 10 seconds. What it did is that it minimized the intensity of the song as well as the movie. Today, movie songs are only made to attract the audience into the theater. Third, casting. Bollywood's casting directors have a quite bewildering method of selection. I believe they have a misunderstanding that the lead role should always be good looking or a star kid, while they have deeply burned the term talent. The only part where we can see talent is the supporting cast. The underrated actors who have lesser fees because they have nowhere else to go. Casting directors also have an issue with assigning roles to female actors. Usually, no importance is given to female characters. The percentage of dialogues to females in comparison to males is highly low. Yes, I have in an account recently made women-centric films like Queen and English Winglish. But what about the other genres in which actresses are only recalled as the wife of someone or partner of someone? Because the directors failed to establish the sole identity of the character, or maybe it was deliberate. Because first of all, you need a good looking actress, and then you also need talent. Finding both qualities in one is quite rare. So casting directors tend more to looks because all they want is a huge first day show for their films. And it turns out that the good looking actress has zero talent. Then the directors don't take risk of assigning too much role to her because her unnatural acting might lower the standard of the film. This is what I think is the real reason behind the low percentage of dialogues to female actors. Fourth, plagiarism. Plagiarism is like an epidemic in Bollywood. Aware me of the last Bollywood movie which was completely original. And it's not only the case with films but also the music. A remake of old music and high tech used to make new music is making the true art of music fade away. Plagiarism can also be seen in movie scripts. Tons of Bollywood movies made nowadays are directly or indirectly copy of other film industries, while the remaining movies are based on true incidents. The writers couldn't get an original and amazing script because they aren't approaching the correct source. They generally tend to Hollywood or books from Western culture, while they are unaware of some artistic sources. First is their imagination, and second is the rich literature of India. Fifth, award functions. The only real award function that we can take into account is the National Film Award. Others are only hosted for glamour and monetary benefits. The value of the award itself decreases after adding the name of the advertising product before its name. Even the award ceremony looks pale, filled with unnecessary dance performances and irrelevant talking and speeches. And award is given only to those who are stars rather than to those who deserve. This is why rarely a winner from Filmfare corresponds to National Film Award winner. I appreciate the National Film Award because it identifies what actually worthy in spite of its effect on the audience. The actual reason why this glamorous award function still take place is due to us. We are the one who watch it and increase its TRP. This advice was more to us as viewers than Bollywood itself. The most read newspaper is also the most printed newspaper across a region. Likewise, the most watched cinematic type is also made in great quantity. We citizens need to understand that the kind of content we lay our eyes on is reflected as the primary behavior of our society. Inform me of the last Bollywood movie which does not involve love story as their primary or secondary focus. That being so, half of our generation is getting inspired by rubbish Bollywood rom-coms and is considering the relationship as the primary part of life. We urgently need to end this, and it simply begins and depends on oneself, just like the voting process. What content we go for and what content we advise others to go for is effortlessly dependent on us. So that's all of me. If you agree, then please keep the promise and stop going to a movie which is nothing but a stigma to world cinema and is a waste of time as well as money. And if you don't, then please comment down below your little piece of advice to me or Bollywood.